Okay, he's back.
Yeah.
That was actually a problem on my end, to be fair. Like that wasn't you at all.
But I do tend to have regular troubles with the SharePlay anyway because my internet connection's fine unless it feels like it's having to stream something.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same with me. I think it's like it's the combination of download and upload speeds. I think that it needs.
Yeah.
Because nothing else really messes up my internet as bad as
Nothing does for mine.
as SharePlay. But it is what it is. You can't really fault the system for it. So for the viewers at home, basically he's still here. You can talk. He just literally cannot see what's currently going on, which would be more of a problem if he was the one playing, obviously. But as he's not, we're currently fine.
We're not trying some sort of challenge where we blindfold ourselves.
I mean, wasn't it that one guy who like played the entirety of Bloodborne blindfolded with like a guitar or something? You know,
I'm pretty sure, yeah, from Guitar Hero or something.
The Guitar Hero controller. Have you seen that controller that takes some of your blood every time you fail in a game?
What?
There's like I don't know if it was made up for like a meme image or if it's an actual real controller, but it's like every time you lose in a game the controller takes a bit more of your blood and puts it in a blood bag.
I'm hoping it's a meme thing. I'd be very afraid if someone actually made that.
Well, I think it's more for like a charity thing, so like instead of just having to take your blood, you also get to play some sick video games at the same time. You know what I mean? But like imagine using that. Imagine using that playing Dark Souls.
You'd be dead in an hour.
Like you'd be playing the tutorial boss as some like nerd who's just come in to get their blood taken, and that like you come into the room and there's just a desiccated corpse with a controller.
Well, like that guy tried to fight the Fume Knight.
Oh god, yeah, that was actually me trying to fight the Fume Knight. I wasn't even having my blood sapped, and I was a desiccated corpse by the end of that fight.
Oh, that boss was the one that pissed me off so much when I was fighting it.
Well, I didn't realise that he could be healed by the little statue things. Like I had no idea until I actually got rid of them, and the fight suddenly became 4 times as easy.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
I did, but the problem was that I wasn't good with his, delayed attacks.
Oh god, his second form is the worst.
I know.
What I find is probably the best way to deal with him is, you know how if you wear Vilstat's set, he immediately goes second phase nutso job at you, and tries to assassinate you with a double-edged sword, rather than his little weird double combo that he's got going on with the 2 swords. I find that if you just force him into that, and you can just learn that move rather than try and learn the first move set as well.
Yeah,
it's probably the tactic I'm going to go for when we fight him in this, simply because I can then pretend I'm good at the game. Hey, I beat Myth for the 2nd time. Woo!
There you go.
I was fully expecting to fail it.
I remember, I think during Dark Souls 2, I mostly used the Grand Lance because it was.
I walked out the wrong side of the boss arena.
Well done.
The mists cleared, and I walked back out into the Earthen Peak.
You're like, I can finally move forward. This looks familiar.
Why is this place? Did they change this in Scholar of the First Sin? Did the B team update the game? And I'm like, no, it's just the same area, and I'm being an idiot. Speaking of failures and idiots, I was looking at earlier all the like failed Spiderman movies that didn't come out.
Yeah.
Right? And they had a bizarre amount of planning ready for these films that got cancelled like on a whim, basically.
Really?
Like right, so Spider-Man 4 starring Tobey Maguire, right, was planned, but then Sam Raimi left, citing, like interference from from higher ups, yada yada yada, the usual sort of
Yeah.
developer thing. So they're like, okay, we still want to make Spider-Man films. Let's make a film about a still young Spider-Man as a teenager, because that's like the core of his character. Let's have him still be in school. So they hire what's his face, Andrew Garfield, to be the new Spider-Man. So they get Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. They had planned out Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4, and they were originally the ones that had come up with the idea of making a straight-up Venom film, which of course also came into fruition, but in a different way later on.
True.
Unconnected to the other Spider-Man films. I tell you, if they make a Venom sequel and Tobey Maguire shows up, that'll be the best thing they could ever do.
Oh god.
But yeah, like, so Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4 were like super planned out. I don't have any details of the scripts on me, but I know that they had like scripts starting to be written and stuff like that. And then, like, on a whim, seemingly, Sony just cancels them. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna hire Tom Holland instead, and also Marvel Universe is getting it back.
Yeah.
But like, imagine Andrew Garfield's version in as the Venom Spider-Man, like with the symbiote suit. Also, they were planning on putting Spider-Gwen in the films.
Yeah. Spider-Gwen is very popular now.
It's the only valid thing they could have done. But they even had like they'd done so much work to it, right? They had release dates for these movies that just got cancelled off on the brink. One was meant to come out. Yeah, they did have good ideas. One was meant to come out in mid 2016, and the other was meant to come out March 18th of this year.
Wow. I think it's just that when the second movie completely flopped.
Well, I mean, it received the same. It brought the same money in that the first one did. It was just critically received badly, I think, was more the problem with it.
That, and I did read that a lot of people didn't like quite a few things about it.
Okay, the Goblin's weird. I don't like the Goblin. That was not fun times.
People really didn't like Electro either.
Yeah, I don't know what. Do you remember that one scene they had where like it fixed like his tooth or something, and it was really weird. I was just sort of sat there watching it like, why did they go to the effort to just show us a scene of the electricity fixing his teeth? What possible need for that is there?
There is none.
Like, I'm gonna get like 3 views on this video, and one of them is gonna be like a highly educated Harvard professor who's gonna give me a rundown on why they had to have that scene in the film, where he gets an extra tooth.
And our answer to that would be yeah. But
Was it
did anyone need to do it?
Was it even Mac Gargan in the film though? Like, was that the Electro they showed? Was it even Mac Gargan, or was it someone else? I can't remember if they named him like the comic
even
Electro.
If it was Mac, then it clearly was a much different version of him.
Is Mac Gargan the Electro, or is that? No, I don't think it is. I think I've spoken the wrong character.
I think that's Vulture.
No, Vulture. It's
No.
Scorpion. It's Scorpion.
Yeah.
God damn.
Fucking,
I've my street cred is gone.
look, we keep up with what happens in comics. We don't actually read them.
I don't even keep up anymore.
I do.
I mean, well, I've been keeping up with
I like to
Spider-Geddon
know-
because it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like to know what's
no.
happening at least.
Armourer Dennis has killed me.
Oh no.
Single combat.
How could you were defeated by a fucking blacksmith? How do you feel?
Some dude with magic, literally. Like, I love it when you when like NPCs that are never mentioned in the lore show up, because it's like when you get defeated by them, it's like you got killed by a guy.
Nobody knows who he is. He was just here.
Yeah. Do you know what would have been an interesting path to take Dark Souls if they'd they'd gone down this route, right? Right, so obviously you can like summon people and be invaded by people for PvP and stuff like that. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine, if you will, a Souls-esque concept, but it's like the drop-in play of Destiny.
Oh.
So you know, like you're just wandering about, doing as you do. I'm trying to get him to spawn again so I can kill him before I move on. There he is. So you're just wandering about, doing as you do, and then, you know, you come across other players. And like there would be PvP enabled zones and like items to enable PvP if you didn't want to PvP with everyone you came across, obviously.
Yeah.
Because not everyone wants to fight. Some people just want to have a fun soul crushing time fighting a boss instead.
Yeah.
I'm never PvP equipped when I'm invaded. Like my entire invasion strategy is a dumb luck. But like, just imagine just like drop-in play where you walk into a new area and hey, look, there's 4 dudes already running about it. That's cool. Let's fight some dudes. And stuff like that. I am really considering dropping the Champions Covenant because I need those human effigies, man. I'm losing all these human effigies from fighting invaders and getting ore stones instead.
You're getting
I don't need it.
a bit screwed over by it.
Yeah, slightly. My other character, right? Again, this might be just because I'm better when I'm not recording, which is that awkward sort of thing that will always hang over me like a evil cloud. I've got 52 human effigies at the end of the game of that. It's bad. It's bizarre. How many more I've got? I've got 1 in this game.
Yeah, you're missing about 51 there.
Yeah, somewhat. Should I just buy the Jester's suit and just wear that for the rest of the game?
If you feel like it fits the ruckus, then go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy. I've bought the robes because his face must be relatively visible. I think the robes fit his madcap personality. Look at that. Look how fabulous that man looks.
I mean, I know exactly what those look like anyway, so I can imagine just fine.
Yeah, the robes are great. I actually really like the robes. I don't like the people who use, you know, the people who used to wear just the middle piece of the armor set so they couldn't get backstabbed. I've just realised the immense hypocrisy of what I've said, of only wearing the middle set. I'm only wearing it for stylistic purposes. I actually forgot until I was telling that story that it had backstab prevention on it.
Yeah, which is why most people would wear it.
Oh man, do you remember when they nerfed Gower's ring?
Oh,
And everyone,
yeah.
and all like the purists got super upset because they were like, "Oh no, now we can get backstabbed," like the ordinary peons.
You know, the ones who don't bother trying to min-max themselves to all hell so that they can beat everyone in a one-on-one while blindfolded.
You mean you can't do that already? Casey,
Yeah,
Casey, you're not a true Dark Souls player unless you wear full Havels or go Giant Dad, and with the +10 Chaos Greatsword, kill everyone in a room, and then like spam on their corpses. Oh, I got killed by the knights. Yeah. Sadness mode. Sadness mode. Sadness mode activates. I hate the Elon Knights. I never got their timings down.
They're just that one thing that's always gonna hang over your head.
Actually, that's a lie. I did get the timings down, like one time when I was farming them to all hell. Because I wanted, you know, the Elon captains, right?
Yeah.
I was deep in the middle of doing like cosplay and PvP, where I dress up as an NPC or an enemy type, and I'd fight
Yeah.
like them and use their weapons and stuff. I enjoyed it. It was fun times. I was trying to get the Alon Captain stuff, and so I was grinding for hours, hoping they drop their stuff. Like, you know, like I imagined it was super rare or something. It just turned out they just literally don't drop. Like, you cannot get the katana that a Alon Captain uses.
Which is a bit sad.
So like, I literally spent like, not in game, but probably out of real life time, about 3 days trying to get the cool sword, and I was like, no.
As you pointed out.
And I checked the internet, and I was like, what is the drop rate on the Alon Captain sword? And of course, the internet, in its infinite sarcasm, responded 0.
And you're like, oh, well, that's 3 days wasted.
It doesn't exist. Yeah, I was immeasurably sad, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
I consistently forget to go buy more life gems. I need to buy more life gems. Right, okay. I'm gonna go I've reclaimed my souls.
It's your only other way of healing if you run out of Estus flasks.
Yeah. I mean, I've always had this weird thing with Estus flasks. Like, not this campaign, or this version of the game going through, but normally, I'll like refuse to use them, and just get like 99 life gems in a bag, and just use them when I need them. But then I'm like, wait, life gems cost me money, and are limited and don't come back. Estus flask comes back. Why am I not using the Estus first? And my brain just goes, no, shush. My brain is just like, no, shut up, and slaps me. So I'm just going to pop all these souls that, again, I keep forgetting to use, including all the boss souls, because the only boss weapon worth getting is the Fume Knight Ultra Great Sword. That's legit. That's empirical fact.
Yeah, it's the only weapon you ever need.
It is literally the only weapon anyone ever needs. I mean, there are some cool boss weapons, but I think the problem with boss weapons is they aren't imposing enough in this game.
Yeah, it's like while they may look cool, they don't really have much purpose other than that.
Like, there's like, I don't really know which ones I'm thinking of, but I'm sure that there's like 1 or 2 that have like 20 durability, and you're sat there like, okay, so it does not as much damage as my like halfway upgraded thing, and also it breaks 5 times faster, and you're like, oh, okay, that is what it is.
It does break pretty fast in that game.
Yeah, it's the problem with the frame rate, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, the frame rate went up, and now the game is impossible to play.
So
you know what I think is long overdue?
What?
I need to go fight Old Dragon Slayer, because I failed to even get to him last time I tried.